Yeah, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is the NFC North phone sessions right here. I'm your host, Russell Wayne. So, what up to Skull? What up to One Pride? What up to the Go Pack Go? And what up to Bear Down Nation? You can subscribe to the NFC North main event. We're going to bring you content each and every single day. We are the avid football fans right here at Main Event. And we love talking football, even in June. And we understand that the casual fan has checked out. The casual fan is on the sidelines. You know, we already seen the draft. I can't wait. They're not even, I can't even wait to the season. They're in the middle. They're like watching basketball or something like that. But the avid football fan, the person that wants to come out every single day and talk some football. And yeah, I know we're gonna have a view. Somebody's gonna pop on here. Jeremy from Kneecap Biting with the Detroit Lions. Jason Perry's in the house saying bear down. Got some Bear fans in the house. But you know what I wanted to talk about today was a little bit of fantasy football. You know, we do have some fantasy football players in the North, right? You know, who has the best fantasy football players on their team? Like, who even talks about, you're talking about production right here. You're talking about, you're talking about somebody score some touchdowns, right? So I'm looking through PFF's top just players, overall players. And what am I looking at? Like Justin Jefferson is the highest rated player in the NFC North. I mean, there's a good reason for that, right? What do you think of Justin Jefferson? He's the highest rated fantasy football player from the NFC North. King NFC North, King stat. That's why he wants $30 million. $30 million for Justin Jefferson. I don't know. Should the Minnesota Vikings pay the $30 million, Justin Jefferson, for putting up number one fantasy football player in the NFC North is none other than Justin Jefferson. So who's the second rated? We got Amon-Ra St. Brown would be the second rated. What do we got? Let me make sure here. Look in here. I thought they would have some running backs in here. Kelsey, Jonathan Taylor, Stephon Diggs, Tony Pollard at 12, Josh Jacobs at 13, Devontae Adams at 14, Nick Chubb at 15, Derrick Henry at 16, Breece Hall, CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra St. Brown is the second rated player from our own Detroit Lions. Second rated fantasy football player in the NFC North is none other than the Sun God. Amon-Ra St. Brown coming in. All right, we got number 2, and he's making way less money than $30 million. Yeah, but they're gonna have to pay Amon-Ra St. Brown in Detroit too. Hello from Illinois. Yeah. What's up, Jason? Thank you for watching, man. We're talking a little bit of fantasy football. Who do you like from the Bears is your favorite fantasy football standout right here? I mean, obviously, Justin Fields is going to put up some rushing yards. I think that Justin Fields is probably going to be a top 5 fantasy football producer. Those rushing yards are just killers in fantasy football. Let's see if we can find another guy from the NFC North. So far we have Justin Jefferson and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Oh, we got another Viking is the second one in there. Let me see here. No, looks like we got Aaron Jones coming in at number 3. Fantasy football style right here. Aaron Jones coming in at number 3. You got Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and then Aaron Jones coming in at number 3 right here. Defense, I'm thinking about Jack Sanborn. Yeah. What a steal that was, right? That was an undrafted free agent right there. Sanborn. I don't know how much fantasy football impact that he'll have, but I don't really mind. I mean, I said that we're going to talk about fantasy football. I really don't care what we talk about. We're going to talk about what you guys want to talk about. If you want to talk about Jack Sanborn, I'm going to talk about Jack Sanborn. Let's talk about Jack Sanborn. I mean, he was a standout. You guys trade Roquan Smith. And, I mean, everybody's thinking is freaking out, that you're not going to have any good linebacker play. So this guy steps in. He was like, to my understanding, he's an undrafted free agent. Sanborn comes in, impacts the team. Actually, I'm not even sure. I think that he led the team in tackles. Call him Baby Urlacher. Okay. Baby Urlacher. Is he smaller than Urlacher? I like that. I like that, Jack Sanborn. And then you come in, and then the Bears bring in who was Tremaine Edmonds from Buffalo. It's a good inside linebacker. I think you overpaid for him, but when you win 3 games and you're picking number 1 in the draft, you got to pay people to come to your team. But you had a ton of money. Made a lot of improvements on them Bears. Biting kneecaps. Alexander Madison. I think that's what you're trying to say. Alex Madison. He's Alex. I think that what you have there in Minnesota, and there he is. We're just going to, I love it. Look at that.
What up, buddy?
I guess you have to be bold to be on this show. It's one of those things. It is, but it looks good, man.
Thank you.
You got a nice little stash. I don't know if you can rival Mike the Bear fan stash, but it's a pretty good mustache right there. I think that we might have to have a mustache.
Appreciate it. Just streaming to my channel for you, getting you some more viewers.
So we were talking a little bit of fantasy football, and then I don't know, that was kind of going over like a fart in church. So
I did add Alex Madison to the list.
I mean, but I think that's great. That's what I wanted to hit on right here, because I wanted to talk about, I mean, they have a pretty good offensive line. Darrisaw is one of the best young offensive linemen in the.
According to Matthew Berry, he thinks the number 1 running back in the NFC North per fit on his team is rookie Jahmyr Gibbs out of the NFC North.
Really? I mean, we could talk about Jahmyr Gibbs a little bit because
I'm just saying what I read in a report. That's it.
but I want to talk about Jahmyr Gibbs right here because I think there is a misconception on what his usage is going to be. And I know that we were talking about Jack Sanborn. I think that the Bears have improved that linebacker room. You can't deny that. And when you got polls finding guys, undrafted free agents, that sounds like somebody in Detroit that keeps on finding late round talent and undrafted free agents.
Anytime I hear polls, I'm thinking about Hendon Hooker for some reason.
Oh my gosh. Nice. But I wanted to talk. I'll just bounce off that.
Stop playing with us.
So I wanted to move on to Jahmyr Gibbs because I keep on hearing that all he's going to do is it's just going to replace Swift.
It's more than that. He's a more dynamic playmaker.
And this is my thought when I look at it first glance. This guy's been lining up all over the field, and when we're talking about Jahmyr Gibbs here, I had to get that one out there, but he's been lining up all over the field. The X, the Y, the Z. I mean, they're using him as a pass catcher almost primarily. I don't see Jahmyr Gibbs getting more than really 10 carries in a game.
How do you feel about that? I said when we drafted him, he's going to be used like Swift, but sparingly. He's going to be used mostly especially while Jameson Williams is out because of his speed. He's going to be used more at the wide receiver position. And David Montgomery, if he can manage to get over his lower leg injury, which sounds like a good old.
You ain't buying that, huh?
I mean, what is it? Lower body injury. It's so vague. It reminds me of Scotty Bowman back with the Red Wings talking about the injury report.
Right.
I mean, it's more vague than Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. Well, I remember Bill Belichick last week. I'm going to take a page out of Main Event Mike's book right here because I heard Bill Belichick last week when he said, do you remember when he said that?
Yeah, I remember that.
I hope that we get Main Event Mike in here on the line. I know we have our one viewer. I think it's Bill, the Packer fan, in his hacker account. Mm-hmm. I think he'll be in there doing some stuff. So Jason, I think it is Jason right here. It says Detroit has enough hookers. Detroit has enough hookers to go.
Hey, Jason, I'll tell you what.
Oh my gosh, I can't. I'm sorry. Jason, I'm trying to read it.
I love it. Detroit has enough hookers, and they had to go and draft one. They only drafted one to make all the hookers on 6 Mile buy jerseys.
That's right. and it goes great with gambling.
Yeah.
Jameson Williams is on line one.
Speaking of which, did you see that latest poll of 250 different NFL players across the league? And 4 out of 5 players did not know that you can't gamble on other sports while on NFL properties.
Well, I mean, is that
80% of the players across the league? Guess what? Guess where the 20% of the players that knew the rule were from?
I don't know.
Las Vegas.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm just saying.
I heard it from a couple people. I mean, Matt Derry was talking about it on Locked On. They were talking about it on Pride of Detroit.
If 80% of players across the league do not know that rule, it is not explained well enough.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's all I was trying to get at yesterday, and everybody kind of poo-pooed me on it.
No. Here, what happened yesterday was there was a differing opinion, and there you have to accept somebody else's opinion. You don't have to, Jeremy. You don't have to change everybody's mind. I mean, someone can just flat out disagree with you, and then we can move on. Your opinion is well documented from yesterday, and we're doubling down on it today because they do need to do a better job with this, but the rule is still in there.
And I understand that. And I never said that his punishment should change. And I want to make that clear.
Well, but I also don't mind if he goes in and, and disputes it or whatever, goes into the NFL court and tries to get it lessened to 2 or 4 games, but he's got to pay the punishment for it. And every single person that is going to come out here within the next couple of weeks. Hey, hi, Tristan Williams. Tristan Williams is one of the brand new moderators for Detroit Lion Main Event. Dude, I appreciate you because actually Jeremy was the one that brought it up to me, was like, once you get up above like 500-600 people, you need to have people that help you, control the content that's coming in there and make sure that we don't get a bunch of spammers in there trying to sell a bunch of crap to the people that just want to talk football.
By the way, to the fans that want to join our pages, if your profile is locked from being seen from outside, you're not going to join.
Yeah, it might not work.
If I click on your name when it says you requested to join and it shows nothing, sorry, you're getting declined.
Yeah, well, he likes to see the picture. That's what he's looking for. And that's the thing. Like, I personally don't even mind that thing, but I put my moderators in charge of doing this. And if that's what they're saying that they're going to do, put a picture on. Let us see your smiling
No, I'm saying
face.
If your profile is blocked and I can't see what pages you follow, I can't see what your likes are. I can't see any posts whatsoever. If it just shows me a blank page with nothing, you're not getting in.
That's a red flag, because if you have your profile blocked, it's usually because you don't want people to see your nasty stuff that you're trying to sell. So we don't want to buy it anyway. So maybe banned Jeremy. What?
Tristan. Hey, Will Vogel. That's one of my regulars. He came in and said hi. He's a Panthers fan. He's actually a Panthers fan and follows the Lions. How about that?
A Panthers fan that follows the Lions. I like that. It was almost like the Carolina Lions, because we had a bunch of guys that went down there, and you got DJ Shark. He was an underrated dude because he came on late for us. So I think that you got a good wide receiver down there. But we were talking fantasy football. We can talk on this. Dan Campbell doesn't speak on DeAndre Hopkins thing right here. What do you think? Is this a non-thing, or is this?
Well, actually, I just read a report from Jeff Risden, and I reported it and brought up Main Event Mike because he wanted Hopkins so bad on why the Lions don't want Hopkins. A lot of NFL execs, Hopkins is not a gym rat. He is not a practice guy. Yes, he can put up numbers, but he's lost a step. He can't run routes anymore like he used to, and all he does is make contested catches. That's exactly what they're saying.
Well, that would be the argument right there. I don't think it's a good move, and me and Mike go back and forth on this, and maybe we can get him on the line, because
I'm on your side.
But I and it's not that I'm not on the side of DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, the guy would
great
absolutely a great talent. He's a bona fide at least number 2 that you compare with Amon-Ra and like
Jason Terry. The Bears passed on Hopkins too.
And he makes it so the defense has to do something. I mean, that's valuable. But here's the thing: we just brought in Marvin Jones. Marvin Jones is also he is a gym rat. He is a dude that will mentor the young wide receiver.
And he's a leader type of wide receiver.
And he is also a guy that can go up and make contested catches, which is the kind of wide receiver we need. And that's what Marvin Jones provides. DeAndre Hopkins does provide that in the best way possible, but there may be other things that come along with it. And I ain't paying $17 million for him. I ain't paying $15 million for him. If you want to come at me and say $12 million in some incentives for a 1-year deal
or less,
or like something like that, I'm willing to work with that. But outside of that,
because if you think about it, even if we made some wiggle room after you sign the rookies, we'll only have about $12 million left.
That's a good point too. I mean, the Bears passed on Hopkins too. There's a reason that these guys are still,
The Bills passed on him. He was there Friday, and he walked out of the building without a deal. That's all you need to know. If the Bills are passing on him and that's a contender team, there's something up.
Well, he just wants to. Well, he's just showing what he values, right? Like if he wants to win a championship, yeah, he will come in and try to get into a team, but he's not going to be able to take top value because all the best teams are pretty stretched as it comes to the cap.
The only team that's considered a playoff team right now that has cap room out of the list that he gave is the Jets.
Yeah.
And they haven't called him.
Yeah, he's just he needs to go on his DeAndre Hopkins tour here, and as he goes around the entire NFL, and they all tell him that we're not going to pay you $17 million a year, he'll go on tour number 2 where okay, I'll come down. Like I think that's what's probably going to happen.
And the Bears have caps. Yeah.
And yeah, I'll let you handle the comments that way.
Yeah,
we don't
I got
step on it. So
I got you.
But I like that. I mean, the Bears do have the cap space, and maybe they will sign him late, but they're smart to wait right now. You don't want to sign him while he's on his high horse. You want to get him on the decline when he's
looking for somebody to give him that deal. Once he gets that deal, he'll go wherever it is. He can care less if it's a bottom feeder because I think he's more about the money than winning now.
But Lion fan, you're out there. I want to know what you really think about that. And also, if you're not a Lion fan, I want your outside perspective of DeAndre Hopkins. Like, do you need him? I mean, is he that much of an upgrade in any of these rooms? Do you want DeAndre Hopkins? If he could come to the Detroit Lions and they can make it work, are you a happy person? That's what I want to know out there. And
I got the fit for him. And if they had the cap space, they'd take him in a heartbeat.
Well, I only care about the Lions, so I
know
care
it's the Packer fans. I mean, you can't say they don't need another wide receiver with hands.
You think DeAndre Hopkins would go good with that young room? Like, I mean,
it's not that. I'm talking about his talent. His talent is needed there. Christian Watson struggled with drops last season. Romeo Doubs even had a trouble with drops last season.
Ooh, that's fire right there. I'm sorry. That is a great take right there. Right there. Yeah, reuniting DeAndre Hopkins with Deshaun Watson.
Massage Watson.
Yeah. They can become the Massage Twins, and they get the band back together, and they can do it like they did it in Houston.
Little play on words there. The band back together.
Get the band back together. Now, yeah, I like that call. That's a great call, Jason. I like that call. I mean, I think that is the odds-on favorite place for him to go right now, but Detroit Lions are still on that list, and you're right. The Packers could definitely use him.
Mm-hmm. They don't have any money whatsoever.
They got money. Packers
not
got
a
money.
lot. Not a lot.
Well,
they traded Rodgers before the June 1st.
Well, I want to get this because I know Bill, the Packer fan, would come in here and make me do this. So I want to see.
I'll look it up right now.
Yeah, I'm going to over the cap right now.
I was going to do the same.
So, and that's what we want to see here. Yeah, they got 16 million after they've signed their rookie class too. So it's they don't have a ton of cap space. I don't think
that's what I'm saying. Be a good. So it would have to be that 10 to 12 million deal to leave the 4 million for injury signing.
The only thing when you have a low amount of cap space and you can sign a guy to a multi-year deal and move and get a good deal on it, but like Hopkins probably isn't going to get a multi-year deal. If I would think, I think someone's just going to give him the one and, see. And Cleveland should take him. That would make, that's a contending offense when you're dealing with Nick Chubb and you're dealing with, Amari Cooper and DeAndre Hopkins with Deshaun Watson. And I mean, don't let the headlines fool you. In the massage tables, it's a story, but Deshaun Watson can play football. And that's why he got $50 million a year is because he can play football. And what's that?
45.3.
45.3. Okay, still, that's a ton of money. I mean, at the time when he signed that contract, it was ridiculous. But now, since they've had like 5-6 other guys that have been in that range, all of a sudden, Jared Goff's contract is looking like, a Pinto. Like, we thought it was we thought it was a Lexus, but it turns out it was just a Cavalier. Like,
Jason asks, what are your thoughts on XFL and USFL players? So seeing as I've watched a total of 6 games between both of them combined, I don't have a big opinion on them. I've seen some flashes of some good players here and there that could make it. A lot of the tight ends seem to be really good in the USFL. Some of the wide receivers are making some good plays. A couple of the quarterbacks would probably have a career as a backup in the NFL so far. But so far, I haven't seen, like, Jordan Ta'amu. No, I'm sorry. He's been here. He didn't make it. That's why he's there.
I'll make a comment on that. The USFL, I'll say this. I'll go into this side of it. Football is popular. Football is by far in the United States. American football is the most popular thing that is here, and it's so popular that, like, other organizations like the USFL and the XFL, people are actually interested in going to other products just because people have such a love and affinity for football. So I like the players. I think that there are going to be more and more players that are going to come into the NFL from the USFL because it's a great way for them to get higher level experience that's higher level than college. So it's a great middle ground that, you can make some money there too, but you can't make as much money in the NFL. So the NFL is definitely the big time, but I love the USFL for the expansion of football.
And year-round football.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. Football.
Oh, okay.
In the spring and summer.
So Jason's following a couple players that would be in the NFL. All right. Go ahead and throw them in there, man. I would love to know that Jason Perry called it first if one of these guys comes to the NFL and starts killing it.
Well, XFL kicker JPR is doing well during OTAs in the first week of mandatory. But yesterday, Patterson beat him out, making 4 of 5, and JPR only made 3 of 5 field goals.
Yeah, so I'm trying.
And Badgley has yet to show up to OTAs, which is leading credence to what I'm thinking.
This is awesome because this gives me a great chance to plug the show right here. We are avid football fans, folks. And if you're watching, like the one person that's out there following, thank you, Jason, that you are an avid football fan too, because it is June, folks. We just started mandatory mini camp, and we are about ready to embark on a kicker talk right here. That's the avid football fan. That's what we do right here. Make sure you follow the page. We had our other page deleted, so if you were following the main event 365, that page is no longer here. We now have the NFC North main event and the Detroit Lions villain squad. So kindly give us a follow. We definitely appreciate anybody that has any affiliation with us, especially you, Jason, who I've had the opportunity to see Josh Allen play in Wyoming before he was drafted to the NFL. Oh, hey, yeah, good call. Man, that's
two bald guys in stereo.
In stereo right there. But no, we appreciate you guys. And what we want to talk about right here is this all of a sudden kicker comp. Now, didn't we just spend a 7th round draft pick
on Riley Patterson?
Riley Patterson?
Yep.
He's a good kicker. He made a playoff. He kicked a playoff winning field goal.
Yes, he did. And that's one of the reasons why we brought him back. And I think the other reason is the name has not been released. Badgley has not shown up to voluntary nor the mandatory OTAs. Is he holding out? No, is he the player that's under investigation by the NFL that hasn't been named?
Oh, okay. But
about to be suspended. Think about it. That makes perfect sense because that report came out.
You heard
6 hours later, we traded for Patterson.
So Jeremy Ballrick from Biting Kneecaps in the South Florida Tribune is reporting this rumor right here. This is interesting right here that Michael Badgley might be the one that's under investigation. You heard that here first. He's
the only player to not show up to OTAs.
That is I thought this was going to be a boring kicker conversation. So we have a triple threat match going on right here. You usually don't have this, but this team doesn't have a lot of holes. So I don't mind that Brad Holmes is throwing some resources and really trying to solidify, who our kicker is going to be going forward. And he's put together a great team. And I like this because this Parker Romo guy seems like he's got the 60-foot boot. The 60-yard boot.
He's been hitting 55 plus the entire OTAs accurately.
Like it ain't nothing.
Like we're talking over 60%. That's huge. Yeah, we love that.
Yeah.
You know what that is? That's Jason Hansen / Matt Praterish.
Oh, Jason Berry was doing security in Wyoming. There you go.
Nice.
Dude, how cool is that to have it, to watch a player and then to watch him go into the pros? I mean, because I know Michigan fan loves to use that Tom Brady thing, even though Hansen was
a little overplayed.
Yeah, even though Hansen was your starter, and
well, Hansen was the starter because his dad donated more money to the alumni fund. Get it right.
Henson. No, it was
Drew Henson.
It was Drew Henson,
every time Drew Henson got Michigan in trouble, Tom Brady came in and won the game. That's the facts.
Oh, I mean, I'm not denying that. But what I'm saying is like all these people that I've been watching him ever since his freshman year. It's like no, you haven't. Would you watch him? Well, you watch him on the bench, like carrying a clipboard. What man? He was walking around so confident, like. No, I mean, but that
he didn't play a game until the second half of his sophomore year.
So and people say what they say. Whatever, what are you going to do?
Corey Smith is from the area I grew up in Virginia. That's awesome too, Jason.
So, I forgot to say this because I even put a post on it. Happy birthday to David Montgomery. We absolutely love that signing right here. When we got that sign, he's always been on my fantasy football team. I like David Montgomery, but this dude can break tackles. That's what we need. We need a guy that can break tackles. When the first tackle that you're breaking is
a half a yard in the backfield.
You got to break 3 tackles to get back to the line of scrimmage. It's like
Mason Perry says, "Boo!"
I'm just letting you know, David Montgomery, you're going to come here, and this line was allowing 4 yards before contact, so you're going to be all right. So if you're breaking your first tackle 4 yards down the field,
4.3. Second best in the NFL.
Missed opportunity for the Bears. I agree with you. You should have re-signed him.
Don't be too upset. You got Donta Foreman, who is a hell of a running back himself. I just don't know if he'll be able to break tackles behind the O-line.
So here's what I'll say about David Montgomery for you is, and I don't think that you're going to lose much ability going from these running backs, but what you are going to lose with David Montgomery's pass protection. This dude is a demon in pass protection. I would say that he's probably, if not the best, he's definitely top 3 at protecting the quarterback on pass.
Number 1 was downs. As much as I hate to say it because he's gone. Number 1 was Jamal Williams. Number 2 is David Montgomery.
Yeah, it is for sure. I mean, and he's definitely an upgrade over Jamal Williams. Is
running back talent wise.
Running back talent wise, we can definitely agree on that one. So, because I'm just kind of going through some of these. So here's another rumor that was out there that was flying around. What do you think about them possibly moving somebody like Charles Harris? And because I
get it because there's no dead cap. It's the last year of that contract.
For sure.
We didn't give him anything.
And we're deep.
Really. And we're deep at the position. So if we could move him and possibly garner either draft capital for the next draft, which is right here in Detroit, or to get a player for more depth at another position, I'm good with it. I don't care either way.
And then there's another rumor from the Lion camp is that, us slating in Haloti Pooty Vaitai as the starting at right guard, or possibly Glasgow being there, we might have all been wrong. It might end up being another Brad Holmes gem that he selects in the 5th round, and Corby Sorsdahl. What do you think of that rumor?
I don't mind it at all. Corby Sorsdahl, I read a lot of reports on him after we drafted him, and they said, don't look at the fact he came from a small school. Look at the fact that this kid is NFL ready.
Yeah.
So that's a great pick. It was a great pick where we got him. He was slated to be a 2nd or 3rd rounder. We got him, 5th round?
Yeah,
correct?
5th round.
5th round. Another gem that fell. Another gem that fell. That's all I got to say.
I don't know if he was slated for a 3rd round pick.
He was considered a day 2 pick.
I think that a lot of people didn't know about him, because I did listen to a couple podcasts about him that had a couple of these pros that were that I can't remember what the name of who the guy was. It was on the Pride of Detroit. They had one of those gurus that came in, offensive line gurus, and he's been talking about this guy for months, like even all the way back to the Senior Bowl, and this guy didn't even he blew it up at the Senior Bowl and didn't even get an invite to the combine, which was kind of weird. And but I think it just comes from the disrespect to the smaller schools.
39 reps at his pro day.
Yeah, and the fact
strong as an ox.
Yeah, you can't teach
what he. Here's another interesting thing: is in the OTAs, Frank Ragnow has not taken a snap at center. It's been our UDFA from last year, Ross Kirschbauer. Or Bacher, or whatever his name is. He's been taking all of the first team snaps right now. Graham Glasgow has looked like absolute crap and may not even make the roster. You heard it here first.
Yeah, I've heard something about that through Graham Glasgow.
I did a deep study into his last couple of years at Broncos. In 2021, he had an injury towards the end of the season. And when he came back in 2022, they had to move him to center due to injury, and he tied for the most sacks given up by a center with 5 last year. So that's why the Broncos let him go. He can't do both positions anymore.
And they didn't give him a ton of. This isn't like they're gonna miss out or it's some big money thing either. It's like
it's the last year of that contract.
Yeah,
so
just a
no dead cap.
Yeah, this is depth money. Like if he does get cut out, that's fine. I would love to have it be Corey Sorsdahl starting and then Haloti Pooty Vaitai in there at that swing. He can play right tackle too in a pinch too.
Yeah, he'd be a better right tackle than Matt Nelson.
That would be the best case scenario too. And another thing I wanted to just brush on and just to say is like in this interview that Jared Goff just had, in his presser, where I love that the media pressed him about, the expectations for this year. And he had said, like, listen, we were a 9-8 team that missed the playoffs. Like, I'm glad that you guys have high expectations, but he has a level playing head. I love that in our quarterback, that he's not looking past or expecting the NFC North to be handed to the Detroit Lions. So do you have a comment on his presser at all?
No, I hadn't had a chance to watch it. But
okay.
I've watched a lot of Jared Goff's pressers, and he doesn't change. He stays cool. He stays level-headed. He answers the questions the way a professional should. So for anybody to expect anything less, they're asking the wrong question.
Right. And there's no doubt in anybody's mind that right now Jared Goff is playing the best football of his career, and that includes the years that he
there's people that think that he's just absolute garbage.
No, well, that's dumb.
I know. If you're and they're still Lions fans. That's
sure.
It drives me batshit crazy.
It's completely idiotic for you to take all of the credit of all of his stats and give it to everybody else, while everything that is bad, that you got to put the emphasis on Jared Goff. The thing is
if that happens, Jason, you just called out the most unlikely scenario in NFL history for this year.
The Bears and the Lions. I mean, I think that the Bears hype is just ridiculous. Like, I can understand some of the Lions hype because they at least came back and they had a good finish. But for a team that was a 3-win team last year,
and none of them against division opponents.
Here's the thing, and I want to throw this out here. I don't want to hurt your feelings, Jason, but here's the thing: that you could be massively improved. You could be massively improved and win 8 games next year. You could be massively improved and win 6 games next year. That your team's playing on a different level. Like that, for you to expect that kind of jump is ridiculous. I remember talking to Lion Fan last year. Oh, we got Aiden Hutchinson. Oh, we can win 11 games, baby. Like, I'm like, guys, Earth. Here, let's have a conversation. I'm planet Earth.
I was at 6-9 prior to the draft, and after I didn't move it till after Hard Knocks, and I only moved it to 7-10.
That's the best comment ever, right there. I'm a Bears fan. You can't hurt my feelings.
Amen, Jason, because we're the same way. You can't hurt our feelings by talking shit about our team, because you know what? Our team has been shit.
Yeah, and it's good, and it's okay.
You've had enough of that shit.
Amen.
So we got Chad's waiting in the lobby right here. Let's bring in Chad. Let's bring him into this view right here.
Howdy, Chad.
Hey, how you doing, Smoking Jeremy B and the Maestro?
The Maestro.
Fantastic. How are you today?
Good. How are you guys?
Good.
So how much have you heard of our awful show today?
About 5 minutes. I was driving, so I was listening to you until I pulled up to my house. And
yeah, we got a Bear fan in the comment here. His name's Jason. He says he's a Bear fan. We can't hurt his feelings, but he's calling Bears versus Lions NFC Championship.
Hey, you never know, but I'm realistic.
Stop playing with us.
No, it's the Vikings division to lose, actually, but it's our to win, and I see the Bears finishing 4th. You know, I'm not trying to be hard on Bears fans, but I don't see them.
I personally think it's the Lions division to lose, and everybody else is playing for 2nd place.
Mm-hmm. I'm with Jeremy on that one, and as far as the Vikings go, I think that they're going to lose every division game, and they're going to finish at the bottom of the division. So I'm not apologizing about that. I may eat some crow on that during the season. But I
don't think they're going to be that bad, because Brian Flores is a good defensive coordinator, and I'll give him that. I am not going to take anything away from that.
Yeah, but an artist needs paper, an artist needs
I understand
that they're all with. You can't give the guy like a rock and a twig and say, all right, make it happen. Like, it's like, maybe, I don't know.
You did the NFC Championship game, Jason. Yeah, that's what you said.
And NFC. Oh, you think it's going to be I think what he's trying to.
Main event, Mike.
Wait. I always think I can let it play for like 2 seconds before the copyright will hit me. So get that rock around. But this is Main Event Mike. We got Main Event Mike on the line. How are you doing, Main Event Mike?
I'm so good, Russ. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you guys hear him?
Can the people hear me?
Yes.
I hear him.
All right, we got thumbs up across the board. We got Chad's on the board. We got Jeremy on the board, and we got our friend Jason, the Bear fan, in the comments that says that the NFC Championship game is going to be Bears versus the Lions. So that's where we're at. Got a comment on that?
Well, I mean, is marijuana legal in Illinois? I don't know.
No, but it's close enough to Michigan. He's got access.
It's not legal there.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, I think he's half right.
He's half right.
He meant the NFC North championship game.
I got it. Did you get it? Did you get it out there?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. So, we were trying to talk.
I think the Bears, while they are definitely improved, I mean, they just have too many holes to make that big of a push. I mean, if they can get to 8 or 9 wins this year, that's going to be a really successful season for the Chicago Bears. For the Detroit Lions, it's a totally different setting. It's got to be 11 wins or this season is a failure.
I thought at least 10.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'll take that, Mike. So Mike says unless we win 11 wins, if the Lions don't win 11 games, it's a failure.
I agree. That's only a 2-game improvement. That's not asking much.
Right. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go with that too. It has to be at least 11. I would say at least 11. Because I think that it's going to be 12 or 13. But
I mean, when was the last time Lions fans were able to say that 11 wins or it's a failure? I mean, never right. In my lifetime have we ever said that.
But 1991.
But I will have main event Mike, that Jared Goff in his post OTA presser, they pressed him on that, on all the hype, and he said the same thing I said on the show yesterday, which was, hey, we're a 9-win team that missed the playoffs, so let's not get it twisted. We got a lot of work to do.
Right.
So you should appreciate that from your quarterback that's keeping it level and keeping it real.
If we win only 10 games, that means we lost one of the Bears, and we cannot have that.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
We only play 6 games in the division.
Yeah. But no,
it just means we only won 4 outside the division.
I think that's what we're living in La La Land. We just we lost every single Packer fan, every single Viking fan. See, all the Viking fans just wanna they want to
witness protection.
They're in witness protection unless it's Monday night.
They're out there looking for a new running back. That's where those fans are.
I think they drafted their next great running back, even though they took him late. I think Dwayne McBride's going to be a beast in the NFL. He has that prototypical body. He can receive, he can block, he can do everything. I like Dwayne McBride.
Okay, do you like Dwayne McBride? How much did Jamez pay you to cut that 7th round draft pick promo? Come on, Jeremy.
I'm talking about I watched game film.
You watched game film? You watched game
UAB game film. Yes, I watch a lot of game film. I watch Division 2 and Division 3 because I want to know about players.
We're talking about 7th round draft picks. All right. Wow.
He was projected to go as high as the 4th.
Okay, I feel you on that. I'm just busting your balls on that.
Yeah, you can bust my balls. I like Dwayne McBride.
I like Dwayne McBride too.
Eric Gray, other than Behan and Jahmyr Gibbs, the 2 running backs I liked was Eric Gray and Dwayne McBride. Eric Gray went to Oklahoma. He's an all-around back. He receives, he blocks, he runs well. And Dwayne McBride, who does the same thing.
You like that? Yes.
I like that call. I like that call out, Jeremy. The ones that I liked Tyjae Spears from Tulane, looked really good to me. I liked Chase Brown from Illinois, and I also liked Mohamed Ibrahim, who happened to be an undrafted free agent signing with the Lions. So
I like him too. It's just
Dwayne McBride. He might actually fill that hole left by Dalvin Cook. However, can he tackle? Can he cover? Can he rush the quarterback? No, because they can have all the pieces they want on that offense. They aren't going to be able to stop anyone.
Right. That's why when Chad said that he thinks it's Minnesota Vikings division to lose, I was like, how? They're not stopping anybody. That don't matter.
Hey, that's a great call out. I mean, throw it in there.
It absolutely matters, Jeremy. It's their
because if that's the case, then strength of schedule matters. And we shouldn't have been playing 3 playoff teams we beat at the end of the year last year.
All right, guys, hold on a second. Hold on a second. We got to get the rails on here. Sometimes you guys start arguing about something, and I want to throw something out to the crowd here. Like we were just talking about Dwayne McBride. So out there, if you're listening, are we really do you put stock into your late round draft picks, whether it's, whether you're a Lions fan or a Packers fan or a Bears fan or whatever? Do you put a lot of stock into these late round draft picks to be key contributors to your team while we move up? So Ranting Q says, "What's up, peeps?" So what do you think about that, Ranting Q? Because we have a bunch of opinions on here, but opinions are like, what? So we're gonna
bad takes.
Yeah, we're home with the bad takes, but we really want to know what your bad takes are out there. So put them into the comments. What do you think about that promo, Mike?
I love that promo, home of the bad takes. I mean, I'm surprised we even let Jeremy on this show since he's got such good takes most of the time.
Yeah, okay, so why is it the home of the bad takes? That's a great question. I'm going to answer this. It's the home of the bad takes because we represent all four NFC North teams here. So what does that mean just inherently is that every time a Lions fan speaks, that 75% of the audience thinks that he's full of shit.
You've had enough of that shit.
So it's inherently going to be a bad take, even if it's a good take. So I think this is going to breed a culture, Jeremy. It's going to be a home of the good takes eventually, because
I like this. Michael,
you're going to have to come.
Prohinchik says, how many upsets do you think the Lions will get this year? Also, how many games do you think the Lions will be favored by Vegas this season? I think they're going to be favored.
We already know.
Probably about 7 games.
All right, you can't.
No, we're favored in 12 games right now.
All right, answer that question, Mike. How many upsets?
12 games. We're favored in 12 games right now.
Really?
According to Vegas. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I think it does worry me though, because people are wrong most of the time, and all these people picking the Lions worries me. And just like every team, we are one injury away from the whole thing going down the tubes. One injury to Jared Goff, and this whole thing is.
Oh yeah, but we said that last year too.
So, I mean, he's asking upsets right here. So if we're favored in 12 games, right, Mike? So how many was that leaves 5 other games. How many of those 5 games do you think that we could pull an upset off? I think that's
well, I think that's a give and take, because we're also going to get upset in at least 1 or 2 of those games where we're favored.
Yeah, but we don't have to answer that. We don't
I know you predicted a loss. You predicted a loss to Atlanta this year. So I'm starting to think that maybe New Orleans might be a bad matchup for us as well.
Yeah, but that was okay. But what we're for favored. What he's asking, and this is just the comment, right? The comment is, how many games do you think that the upsets? So if the upsets would be the 5 games that they think that we're going to lose. How many of those games do you think that? I mean, we're probably not favored in the Kansas City game.
No.
So, I mean, what do you think that record's going to be? Yeah, I don't know which ones those are though. That's it.
Yeah, I'm not favored against Kansas City. We're not favored against Dallas.
Okay. I think we'll beat Dallas.
I know you do, but I don't think we're going to beat Dallas.
I do.
Too much firepower for us.
Okay.
We were beating them last year at halftime, doggone it.
Yeah.
No, we weren't.
But I think that's a great question, Jason. And actually, I want to take that question and I want to put it up on a shelf, and I want to be able to hit that question on NFC North Open Mic on Monday for sure, because I think that's a great question to throw around to all of the teams. But we're going to have to do a little bit of research and some information gathering before we can pull that off well. But that's a great question, and thank you for the comment. Ranting Q, I think that he's got it. We got to improve at every aspect. Jared is durable. I agree with that. You got that loss to the Bears. Yeah, those Bear fans, you guys are coming out the woodworks. You guys are thinking what, 12
one
win?
guy.
12 win. No, this is a lot of people. We got Ken Doby.
You know what?
We got
Nick Wright predicted 11 wins for Chicago last year, and he predicted the same record again this year. You know what that means? A lot of tears in Chicago.
Show. Yeah, he definitely needs to come on our show.
Nick Wright is for Fox Sports, and he has more bad takes than your show.
Yeah, but bad takes are what make
that.
Yeah,
we'll see what we can do about that.
You know why bad takes are so good? Because they're so much better than those piss warm, I don't want to say anything in my takes.
Yeah.
And that's what we usually get from everybody else is, well, if this and this and this happen, and then this will happen, then this will happen, and if this no, shut up. Get your balls out and put a take out there. Jared Goff is going to win 12 games this year. That's going to be awful, or I'm going to be a genius. That's it. There's no.
I said our record will be 11-6, but I predicted a window of wins of 10 to 13.
Really good, and we have the running attack and the defense. Then maybe we can get this. Shut up. Shut your mouth.
Playoffs.
Gosh, stop. Just have a take. It's okay. It's okay.
And I've said all offseason, the Lions are winning the division.
Don't worry about your take not being good. We already know it isn't good.
Yeah, we know your take sucks. Just throw it out there. It's all good.
I've said it all offseason. The Lions are winning the division this year.
Agreed.
Yep.
That means it's the Lions' division to lose because Minnesota lost it when they lost first game of the playoffs to the team we smoked, the Giants.
So we're trying to be right or wrong here. There is no right or wrong here. I guarantee you that 75% of the people that are listening to us right now, which is all three of them, 75% of them think that we're full of crap. And we have one Lions fan, we have a Bear fan, and oh wow, there's 2 Packer fans. So yeah. So half of our audience thinks that we are full of crap and we're delusional at 12 wins. But guess what? Every single Bear fan thinks they're going to win the division. They think it in the back of their mind. They're like, yeah, they just don't know. They just don't know about Justin Fields. Justin Fields is going to run over everybody, and he's going to be the greatest ever, right?
Now that they have Nate Davis and DJ Moore, look out.
Look out.
I love DJ Moore. Come on, man. I love
DJ Moore is good.
They're good players. They're really, really good players. But the other teams in the division were already good, and they stacked talent. Like, the only thing that was weak on the Lions was the secondary, and they stacked talent in the secondary. It's like, we feel good about that. The Packers feel good about their defense. They feel good that they drafted a guy in the first round that is they call him Hercules for a reason, that he might be a menace. That defense is so good. So,
yeah, Russ, have you seen these reports coming out, these rumblings that are in the groups this morning about Sean Clifford looking better than Jordan Love in the OTAs?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who called that one?
Well, Nate Sudfeld looks pretty darn good too. So I don't hold any credit.
What are you talking about? Nate Sudfeld had the worst OTA yesterday I've ever heard of.
Well, yesterday, but before that, he was doing pretty good. It's what they were. I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm just listening to what the
Chad's on the Nate Sudfeld train. Yeah, riding in the Sudfeld. Oh my God, I'm at 9. Dude, I have to cut this thing short, guys. It has been a great show. This has been so much fun today. It's been so much fun that I completely forgot to sign off around 12 o'clock. I hope that the bus isn't waiting down there for me, but thank you, everybody. This is the main event, Mike. Mike, give him a plug real quick.
NFC North open mic, 7 p.m. Eastern time every Monday night. One Pride.
God bless each and every of you. We're hoping to see you guys. One
Peace,
Pride.
love, and chicken grease.
Boom.